Imagine standing in a room filled with the very people you believe destroyed your life, only to realize your own brother is watching from just 8 miles away and refuses to pick up the phone. This week, Prince Harry didn't just return to London, he walked into a high-stakes legal trap that might have just snapped his composure for good. As the Duke of Sussex took the stand for his final battle against the British press, the world watched a man on the edge, revealing secrets that the palace has spent decades trying to bury. But while the headlines are screaming about court dates, the real story is what happened when the cameras were off. The atmosphere in the High Court was thick with tension as Harry prepared to face his most formidable enemy yet. Clad in a sharp dark suit and clutching a Bible, the Duke didn't look like a royal, he looked like a man who hadn't slept in weeks. He's led a group of high-profile names, including Sir Elton John and Elizabeth Hurley, into this legal firestorm, claiming that for 20 years, his life was less like a fairy tale and more like a surveillance operation. We're talking about allegations of bugs planted in cars, private medical records being snatched, and even his own home being treated like a reality TV set. But even with all that tech, the most painful blow didn't come from a hidden microphone. It happened in a split second. During a heated cross-examination, Harry's voice suddenly cracked. He wasn't just talking about himself anymore, he was talking about Meghan. He told the judge, with his voice visibly shaking, that the press had made his wife's life an absolute misery. For a moment, the room went silent. It was a rare, raw display of vulnerability from a prince who has been taught his whole life to keep a stiff upper lip. He admitted that the constant scrutiny drove him to a state of total isolation, making him paranoid beyond belief. He started doubting everyone in his circle, wondering which of his friends was the one selling his secrets for a paycheck. But the defense has a theory that might turn this entire case on its head. While Harry is blaming hackers and private investigators, the defense lawyers are pointing the finger somewhere much closer to home. They're suggesting that it wasn't some high-tech surveillance team that leaked his secrets, it was his own inner circle. They're claiming that leaky friends were the ones feeding the tabloids, not for a conspiracy, but for simple gossip. If that's true, Harry has spent millions of dollars and years of his life fighting a ghost, while the real traitors were sitting at his dinner table. This revelation didn't just rattle the courtroom, it seems to have echoed all the way to Adelaide Cottage. You see, while Harry was reliving his trauma in London, Prince William and Kate Middleton were technically just a short drive away. 8 miles, to be exact. In the world of the royals, 8 miles might as well be the distance to the moon. Reports claim that the Prince and Princess of Wales intentionally booked their diaries to be exceptionally full this week, ensuring there was absolutely zero chance of an accidental run-in with Harry. There was no secret meeting, no olive branch, and certainly no brotherly support. Even as Harry was reportedly on the verge of tears in court, the silence from the rest of the family was deafening. It's becoming clear that this visit wasn't a chance for reconciliation, it was the final nail in the coffin. The stakes here aren't just emotional, they're financial. This legal war is projected to cost a staggering £38 million. That's enough to wipe out a significant portion of any remaining royal wealth. If Harry loses this case, he isn't just losing his reputation, he's losing his safety net. He told the court that it's fundamentally wrong that he has to go through this again, demanding an apology and accountability that the palace has never given him. He's fighting for a version of justice that might not even exist anymore. But as the trial enters its most intense phase, one question remains. Will a victory in court actually mean anything if there's no family left to share it with? Harry is convinced that he's doing this to protect his children and his wife's future, but the cost of his truth is leaving him completely alone on a very expensive island. He's exposed the darkest corners of the media, but in doing so, he might have permanently exposed the fracture in the monarchy that can never be healed. As he walked out of the court, red-faced and sniffing, it was clear that the battle is far from over. But in this game of royals versus the press, it's starting to look like nobody actually wins. P.